Hello everyone, I thought today we would create a journal together. And I did a video of this the other day without too much commentary. So today we're going to do this journal, and I'm going to do a commentary with it. So I've made 2 of these now. Hopefully I can remember how I did this. So this is what we're going to be working on today. And then later on I'll do another video where we kind of embellish this. So you will need 17 pieces of 6 by 6 squares. You know, you can buy these paper packs at not at Myers, at Michael's, Hobby Lobby. I bought these off of Shane. So at the start you will need to pick out your first page and your back page, because you will want your first page, since it's going to wrap around onto the front page, to kind of match. So these 2 are going to be my pages. So how this is going to work is that we are going to be creating hinges, like 1/2 inch hinges, either on the left side or the right side. And to start with, we are going to score 1/2 inch on the left side. And I have a scoreboard, and it's got it all mapped out up here, the measurements. So we are going to score 1/2 inch Alright, then you want to fold on the score line. And if you've got a bone folder, you can press down. Alright, set that aside for a minute. Then we are going to take our second piece and score on the left side as well. Oops, I keep getting the wrong one there. So then you fold on your score line. So then we are going to glue this hinge, like here's page 1, we're going to flip it over, and we're going to glue this hinge onto page 1, right at the edge, like so. And you can use double-sided tape. I am using art glitter glue, and I've used the art glitter glue for the last 2 that I've made. So you want to glue this so it folds in, like when you open it. And make sure all your edges and things are kind of lining up and are straight. So again, this was our first page. Here's our second page. So then you kind of like open and shut and make sure things are going okay. Set that aside. Now you grab your third page, and we want to score it on the right side, a 1/2 inch. Alright, then, let me see, that's the right side. Then we're going to fold this in half up to our score line, just a little bit shy of the score line. And then we are going to glue this. Okay, so first we need to put a notch into our pocket. Like so. Okay, so this is our first page. And this is going to be our second page. Actually, here's our first page. Here's our second page. So we are going to glue, after you notch, we are going to glue this hinge right here. We are going to put it right here. So let's glue. And always remember to cap your glue because it will clog up if you don't. So we're going to glue the hinge. And then again, make sure everything is going to work properly. So we want this to be a pocket, so we need to glue 2 edges here. Since this is already an edge, we don't need to glue it, but we need to glue here to create this pocket. And along the bottom there. And wipe away any excess glue so your pages don't stick together. So now we see it's going to go like that. Now we're going to glue page 2, this page, onto page 1 completely. We don't want to, you know, you could make this a pocket if you wanted to, but we're going to glue this completely on to page number 1. And you don't need a lot of glue, just enough for it to stick together. Okay, so now we have this hinge to work with. So here's page 1, page 2, page 3. Now page 4, page 4, we need a 1/2 inch on the right hand side. So we're scoring on the right side. We are going to fold and then we're going to glue this right here onto this hinge. And making sure everything is going to fold. Everything's pressed down. Okay, that's page 4. The next page, page 5. Let's get our little book over here. Oh, here it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to fold in half. And then we are going to glue this one onto this hinge, like so. So you'll need to glue the front and the back side of this hinge. I kind of pick mine up and do it that way. So I'm going to put my front piece on first. And you want to make sure that it's as close to that fold as possible and that it's straight. So there's that. Here's this. So that's page 5. Which was this. So now we're going to glue on a sheet and make a large pocket. Let's see. We are going to create a hinge on the right side. All right, I'm going to do it this way. We do a 1/2 inch. And then we need to create our little pocket or tab right there. And then we are going to glue this three sides onto our booklet here. And you can see mine's already starting to go a little caterwampy here. So we're going to glue just three sides because we're going to create a pocket. Okay, next on page 7 we are going to do a 1/2 inch hinge on the right hand side. And we are going to glue this onto this hinge right here. How do I have it in this one? So I've got this going on top of this hinge, like so. And again, you're checking to make sure everything is bending and clean. All right, page 8. Page 8, we are going to do a 1/2 inch on the right hand side. So that is going to be, there was 7, and then here's 8. So you can either make this a pocket or you don't have to. You can put this underneath it, like so. Did I leave this one open to be a pocket? I think I glued this one together. So we're going to glue this one down as well. And go all the way over to that hinge over there. And then also put on this hinge over here. And again, make sure everything is lining up. All right, page number 9. Page number 9, on the right hand side, a 1/2 inch. And then we are going to glue this right onto this hinge. Like so. And then our next page we're going to create is this right here. So we are going to glue this onto this hinge right here. And again, make sure you're wiping away any excess glues. Making sure things are going to bend properly. And then the next one we're going to do we say that was 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Now this one we're going to fold in half. And we're going to put it onto that hinge. So now we're going to glue this edge to this hinge so it folds like so. this is going to go like this. And we're only gluing just the front, not the back, because we want it to be open where they can write on it. Unless you want to glue it all together. Totally up to you. And I think I got it too far. I got my page too far. Let me see. Yeah, there I go. So this one goes like this. Like that. All right, the next one, page 11. Page 11, we are doing a 1/2 inch on the right hand side. And we are going to glue this whole thing down onto the back of this page. Now we can create another pocket if we want. But we're just going to glue it all down. Glue over here. And again, try and make it as even as possible. Easier said than done. Alright, page 12. We're going to do the 1/2 inch hinge on the right hand side. On the right hand side. Go back to our other book here. So next we're going to be doing this flip down after we do this page. So we're going to glue this to this hinge. I got glue all over my hands. Okay. on our 13th page. This is the one that's going to be at the bottom of this page. So we need to trim a 1/2 inch off the bottom because we are not hinging this page. So, and you want this to be a little bit smaller than where that flip is. Now let's see if I can see where I made my mark. Oops. And now we want to score on the top a 1/2 inch. So we've scored at the top a 1/2 inch. And then we want to fold up to the score line. So now we're going to, let me make sure. Okay, so this is going to go like this. We are going to glue the white side to that white side, and then this is going to end up flipping up like this onto this page. So we are going to glue this hinge white side to white side. And you know you're the right way if your pattern is facing up. So you might have to work with this to get it into the right position. And I still might have to move it over just a hair because it needs to close. Okay. And now they have writing space right there in their journal. All right, on page 14 now, we want to cut off on this right side because this is the one where we're going to make our pocket with the slant, like so. So we want to cut off, and again, a little bit smaller. I'm saying right about there. And then to make our slant, we want it to be outside of this hinge. So we want to start somewhere around there and maybe go to about here. get on a flat surface here. Save this part because we can use it later. So now we are going to, I'm going to trim off a little bit more so we can't see these pencil marks. Hold on. So now we are going to glue 3 sides. Here, here, and here. And if I could ever glue a straight line, will be a miracle. And again, make sure that you're all tucked in and then once you do that, you glue down your hinge. Okay. So that was this one. So now we're on to page 15. So we're going to make a hinge on the left. A 1/2 inch hinge on the left. So we're going to glue this right here on the left. Make sure you're wiping all your excess glue. All right. All right. And see, mine's getting a little crooked now, but I'm not down for perfection. All right, piece number 16, we need the 1/2 inch hinge on the right. I guess this kind of paper doesn't really matter. And then again, we're going to fold this one in half up to the score line. I can't find my other bone folder. And we are going to, let me see, glue this to the back there. And again, we can either glue this shut or we can leave it open. I think I'm going to leave mine open for right now. You can always go back and glue it once you start, putting things. Once we start embellishing, you can decide then if you want it open or closed. And as you can see, mine's totally not square. And now we're down to our last page, page 17. And you can create another pocket. We're going to make this into a pocket by gluing 3 sides. And I'm going to get some clips ready. We don't need to make any hinges on this one, so we're just going to glue 3 sides because we're going to make a pocket. And then once you get that how you want it, we are going to wrap this edge around to the front. And then I personally clip until this sets. And you can see mine is off just a tad right there. But I can come back and cover that up or cut that little bit off. So again, this is what it's going to look like. Your cover. You got a little pocket there, a page here, a fold out there, a pocket there. And we'll come back and embellish these. Later. Alright, so our book has had time to dry. So here's our cover. And then once it dries, you need to re-manipulate your book. first page, our pocket, third page. And remember, this we glued together. And then we've got a pocket right here, page there. Here's the page. Here's the page. And this folds out. Our next page, this folds down. And I forget which one of these are pockets at the top. And we have a pocket here, a fold out here, and our back cover. So we can decorate this later. And see this, I might just cut that little bit off right there. But there you have the journal using 6x6 pages.